Hello, welcome to my sewing room. I'm Carole. This is my channel, Sew Carole, and you're joining me on #Friday Sews. #Friday Sews, if you don't know what it is, well, you have joined the most amazing community of sewists around the world who report under the hashtag, which was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, on a Friday about their sewing week. So anything that they have been sewing, they want to sew, things that they've been buying, fabric, we share patterns, we share ideas. It's the most amazing community, and we're all so thankful to Jen for starting it. Normally I start with the things I've been sewing. I have to start with life first this time. I'm so sorry, but I have to say that I have an announcement to make. Our granddaughter was born at the weekend. That's my son and his wife gave birth to their first child, and her name is Chloe Eloise, two very pretty names. Yeah, all is well. So she gave birth on Saturday morning in the early hours, and she weighed £6 5 ounces, which is a nice small tiny baby, but not too small that they're fragile, but just the cutest thing. And of course we got in that car Saturday morning and we drove to Kent. Now that's about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from us. Took longer as it's Saturday, but yeah, we went with my daughter as well, and yeah, we got our first cuddles. Now I'm going to put a little photo in, but I have to say that they're going to be a little media savvy with their baby. They don't want too many photos of her on social media, which I completely respect and understand. I'm sure they'll change that in due course. So, but I will put a little photo up. I have got the agreement to do that. But yeah, so Chloe Eloise, so excited. We're going up again this weekend. To celebrate, I made another little outfit this week for her. This was the Made by Jack Harem pants. I think it's Waves and Wild. Adam from Adam Sew sent it to me ages ago. I actually made a really, I think it was the premature baby size months ago, and sort of pink stripy and then a pink pair of trousers. She actually wore those this week, so I'm thrilled. But I came away and made the next size up. It was just me playing around with little pieces of fabric. So I made the little t-shirt with the envelope neck, because when I made them last time I had such a disaster with all the poppers. It's easiest to make that. And a little pair of the Harem trousers. I had this really soft ribbing, jersey ribbing, so I made it with them, and this green bit of jersey. I have to say there's the most enormous error on this, but it's between me and you, that you can't tell, but this is the wrong side of the fabric, and you can only tell by the grain line when you compare it to the back. I just couldn't unpick it all again, but it's between me and you. But yeah, we just do these silly things, don't we, when we're rushing. But yeah, very cute, very happy with those. So we're going to take those up. Oh, I made that headband ages ago, and when I made a dress and I hadn't given it to them, so I thought actually that could work, so I'm going to take that up the weekend. But yeah, big news for the family. I have been sewing this week. First of all, I will report back on the Burda pair of trousers that I wanted to make. It's Burda 6534. You can still get this pattern. I absolutely love it. I've made it about 4 times. I've even made it into shorts before. It just seems to fit me really well. But the times that I've made it before, it wants stretch fabrics only. Now, this time I had this navy twill. What I did is I sized up slightly. The legs on them are actually quite tight. So I sized up on the legs, and I have made a very wearable pair of navy trousers, which I'm quite pleased about. They've come out slightly smarter than I was looking for because of the twill, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with them. Nice pocket. It's got sort of the back yoke, and it's got the nice fly detail. So yeah, it's a very smart pair of trousers, and they do fit. Obviously, if it was in stretch woven, then it would be so much more comfortable, but happy with them. The only thing is, this fabric picks up every bit of fluff and thread available, and I could spend my whole time when I'm wearing them picking bits off, and I daren't get near Mickey, my dog, with these on, or even sit in a spot that he's been sitting. I'm just going to have to permanently go around with one of those lint rollers, I think. Yeah, very happy with those. Really good trouser pattern, and I'm going to be using it again going forward in autumn because it just always works out so well for me. I do have to shorten them, but yeah, excellent. I have been making another pair of trousers, but they're not for me, they're for Katie, my daughter. Now, I love making things for other people, but the only thing that frustrates me is when I give it to them to try on, there's always a big delay in them getting it back to me to finish it off. So I made her New Look 6517, which is a really good beginner trouser pattern. Made this loads of times. Sometimes I'm narrowing the legs a bit so they're not so floaty, but yeah, I've made her the crop version in this pink linen. Now this is all I have to show you, because these I very often, it's got a flat front with some elastic, but I put ties in the front. I've done it on my trousers before just to add a bit of interest on the front. So all I have is the ties to show you, because I gave it to her a couple of days ago to just try, so before I could put the elastic in the waistband, and I haven't had them back in time for this video. When we make something for ourselves, we're trying it on all the time, aren't we? And we can just get it done and finished. And it's so incredibly frustrating when you're making for somebody else and they don't have that urgency that we have to get the whole project finished. Anyway, hopefully I will have them for you next week. You'll see behind me two of the other makes I made this week. This one was, it's a rib jersey. It's beautiful, but it's very, I know it's going to sag. I've sewn with rib jersey before. Starts off well and then it does kind of droop a bit. But I'm really pleased with it. It's the Largo Tank. Let me bring her nearer. So it's the Largo Tank by Itch to Stitch. I keep forgetting that. And what I did is I widened the straps as I said I was going to do, and widen the back as well, so it was more like that before, more waist back, but I've just added that width on the back and it's now perfect. I'm really happy. You don't see any straps, so yeah, really nice. Be nice for a holiday, but it's very floaty. It's not like a fitted tank, but as you can see in the video, but yeah, really happy with that. The second thing I made, another t-shirt. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I have had this jersey fabric in my stash for a long time and it just looks like embroidery. It was another poppy designed cotton jersey, and I made another of the Cashmerette Concord Tees. Now I made it in the same size as I made one of them a few months ago now. Made it in a size 6 and it does kind of work out, but I've just got to bring it in on the hips a bit. But other than that, fits beautifully. It's got those arm sleeve band cuffs. I'm just so glad I could use this fabric again because it's just so pretty. So yeah, another t-shirt to add to my many t-shirts I have in my wardrobe. Now, as you can see, I am wearing a Butterick blouse. It's the Butterick 6733 and this was the blouse I was sent for my Busy Bee challenge. That was the challenge. I put the results up on Sunday the 30th. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put the video at the end. But this is when we were sent a random pattern by somebody and we had to make it up, and this was my result. It worked out in the end. It was an incredible journey. Frustrating at times, but yeah, I'm really happy with this blouse. But that is what I'm wearing today. I have bought a couple of things this week. I had one of those emails that you get from fabric companies, and it was First for Fabrics, and they were announcing some new fabrics in, and I saw this one and I just had to buy it. It's a jersey, but look at this. It's sort of like fireworks, or you could say like dandelion clocks, but the colours are just beautiful. So I think I've got 2 meters of that, so that's kind of going to my autumn section for when I get back from my trip. But I couldn't resist that. I'm sorry, the colours are just so amazing. And thinking ahead to autumn, well, they also had this, it's a French terry, brushed French terry, kind of sweatshirty fabric. And it's, I don't know what you would say those are, whether they're leaves, cactuses, flies, I don't know. But yeah, that's really nice. That's going to make some nice kind of a hoodie or something like that for autumn. So a couple of really pretty bits of fabric. What do I have in my hand? This is the fault of Michelle from Michelle Sews Again. She's got an amazing channel, and one thing she's really good at is announcing to everybody new challenges that are about, or sales or something. Or this time round she put out a video saying that Style Arc patterns actually sell through Amazon and they were at a discount. Now, you know me, I will buy the occasional indie pattern, but I won't buy them if they're PDF because I just can't deal with all that printing, sticking. But they actually had paper patterns, and I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I'll have a look. I'm sure it's probably just on Amazon.com rather than the UK version of Amazon, but they were on sale on our website as well, so I had to buy a couple because they were very reasonably priced. I have to say, I was a bit shocked when I received them, but I got the Parker Ponte trousers, still thinking ahead to autumn, and the Fran knit top. Just a very basic knit top, but it's just got a nice shaping on the sleeve. Now this is how they came. Now this is not what I normally expect from a pattern. I'm big four, aren't I? I expected lovely little details on the pattern envelope and things like that. But this is kind of all you get. So I opened them out to see what you actually get, and I was just so surprised that you really don't get much, do you? You don't get much details about it, and it's all kind of black and white printing, but I'm sure it'll work out fine. Lots of you out there love Style Arc, so we shall see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to making those things. I got one more pattern coming. It's just taking a little bit longer because I think it must be coming from somewhere else, another country. But yeah, so thanks Michelle, you made me spend money, but that's what we're all about in the sewing community, isn't it? We just seem to encourage each other to spend more. I actually got my instructions out for my serger the other day, my overlocker. When I was making these cute little baby things, when I did them before, I used the 4-thread overlock. I wasn't happy with that because on such small little items, it didn't look right. Now, I'm sure many of you have done this lots of times, but I've never used the 3-thread, 3 spools. So I got my instructions out, something I very rarely do, and I actually took a needle out and I changed it down to 3-thread. And I was so much happier with it. It just made such a neater little row of overlocking serging. I have to say, I always sew my seams on a straight stitch on a normal machine first, and then I overlock the edges. It's just like a double security. Then you've got 2 layers of stitching, haven't you? But yeah, I was so glad I took the time to change the serger and move it down to 3-thread. Of course, then I had to put it back again, didn't I, to do my stuff. So something came this week in the post that I've been waiting for, and that was the 3000 pattern. The vintage pattern I got to celebrate when I hit 3,000 subscribers. Very excited. It is in beautiful condition. Now, I have to say, it's a size 16, so it is big for me. It's an old-fashioned 16, so it's obviously smaller than the bigger 16. It's just in beautiful condition, and I really enjoyed. I've never really seen a vintage pattern in such detail, but it's just wonderful. I just love all the pictures and everything else. And I know lots of you out there have got vintage patterns, but I almost don't want to spoil this and making it up. I mean, obviously, if I do make it up, I will I will pattern trace it because there's no way I'm going to cut into this, but I really don't know what to do. So for the time being, I'm just going to put it up somewhere and celebrate it. Even if I get a normal dress pattern and kind of get those pieces out, trace the pieces off to create that shape. But I'm just enjoying having pattern 3,000 to celebrate my 3,000 subscribers. What I should have done is see if there was a 1,000 and a 2,000 and 3,000, and I could have had like a whole collection. Yeah, I might do that. But yeah, I was oh, it's just such beautiful times. The pattern actually dated back to 1959, so it is older than me. But yeah. I don't know if you caught a video that Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews put out a couple of weeks ago now, but it was for her summer mug rug. I'll put the link down below for it. Go and have a look at it. She does these wonderful tutorials for mug rugs. I'd made a couple of them before, but this one was the summer one, and I was playing around in the sewing room and I just had a go at it. Now she used plain colour fabrics. I didn't have that, so I had to go kind of Dixie floral. I am really pleased with it. The binding around and the outside is terrible because I ended up using some curtain lining because I didn't have any cotton fabric in a white colour. So it's made it a bit thicker and bulkier, but I am pleased about this. But please go and have a look at hers because hers is so much better. And I showed it to my husband. What did he say? This is the section of Friday Sews where it's what Kris said this week. He said, "Oh, is it a hand?" And then I looked at it. I thought, oh goodness, it does look like a hand, doesn't it? Hey, hey, it's summer. That's all I can see now when I look at it. I bet you're the same. I have to say, I like precision and neatness sometimes, but in Izzy's videos she was teaching us the slash and spread method, which has to be very random and try not to think about lines, and I did, and it annoys me the fact that they're not the same. But yeah, go and check that video out anyway, that tutorial. It's really good fun. They don't take very long and they're very practical. So next week on Wednesday, I'm going to do a little class where I learn how to make something which is very special and quite unique to this county. Well, it used to be years ago. Anyway, back in the, I think it started in the 1600s, Dorset, where I live in England, was famous for making buttons. So they're called Dorset buttons and they're handmade buttons. Now, they were, obviously they started making them in the 1600s. In about the 1800s, they were really, really popular and sought after. And actually, we sold them around the world from some towns very locally to me, renowned for making them. But there's actually a couple of hours course very close to me next week, and I booked myself on to learn how to make Dorset buttons. I'll put a picture up of the kind of thing it is. So these buttons were obviously made for years and years and years until, of course, we invented machines to make proper buttons. And then, of course, they fell out of favour. But a lot of people in the area, a lot of craft clubs do still do them. And I just thought it'd be fun to have a go at making some. So wish me luck. I don't promise they will be any good at all, but I'll certainly know it's going to be fun doing something different, and of course very typical to where I live. So I look forward to reporting on that next week, if they're good. My sewing plans for next week, I really don't know what I'm going to be sewing. I know I've got to get kind of sorted on the flower girl or bridesmaid's dress that I've got to make for Chloe. Now I know her name, it's so funny. So yeah, I've got to really get started on that, and I've got the fabric from the bridesmaids are having dresses, and it's some fabric, the actual same fabric has come. So I've got 3 different types of fabrics, so I'm going to play around with that. I ordered loads of this stuff, and obviously she's only tiny. So at least we know, kind of maybe work out what size she's going to be. But yeah, I really must play around with that. And as I have said, that we're going away at the end of August for a couple of weeks. We're actually going to Canada. and Ontario. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like at all. Now, talking to Izzy, the funny thing is she's coming to England and having to make lots of layered clothing because she's not sure. And I have said to her, what do I need? And she said layers. So we both kind of need the same things. So yeah, I really got to look and see what I need for our trip at the end of August. So I'm going to be thinking about things like that. May even have a go at making one of those long sleeve, the style arc top with some bits of fabric that I've got in the stash, because that might, I'm bound to need very long sleeve at some point, so I thought I'd have a go at doing that. But other than that, I'm not sure what next week will bring. I may well make some pyjamas. I'll just put the warning out now. I think I'll leave it there for this week. Don't forget to look out in a couple of weeks' time. On the 14th of August, I will be putting out the result of my challenge with Kris from Sew Notes, where we're both making a item using the Lutterloh system. I've actually finished mine now and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how her item comes out. So that's on the 14th of August. Pictures I'll leave you at the end with, maybe a couple of kind of baby photos, but I've got to be very careful. The only thing we did do as well at the weekend is, after we'd visited them and been in the hospital, both Kris and I fancied some fresh air. So we did a walk from our hotel, and there was actually a footpath that ran through a very exclusive private school. But there was a footpath going right the way through it and then kind of skirted around the outside. And the grounds were beautiful, and we walked past a lake, and it was in the evening. There was nobody around because obviously it's school holidays, and we went up the beautiful drive and you could see the school there. I'll put the pictures up of that. And then had kind of a narrow walkway around the side of it, which we did walk for a little bit, and then we stopped and came around and went back again. But as we were walking back from looking at the school, my husband was sort of looking up facts, as you do, about it. And one of them, he said, oh, this will make you laugh. Oh, Turner painted this, this school. And Turner is a very famous English painter. But in my head, I said, oh, really? What, kind of inside, or was I thinking outside? Turner painted it? He said, no, he painted it. He did a portrait of this school. Silly me, stupid moment. I imagined this very famous painter inside painting the walls or the ceilings or something, but no, it was actually, he painted it. I'll put the painting up. I think it's in the Tate Gallery now, of this actual private school. But yeah, silly me. But anyway, I will put those photos at the end. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to me waffle on about all my sewing things, and especially the news of Chloe. And I will see you all next week, I hope, if not before. Thank you. Have an amazing weekend with lots of sewing or whatever you fancy doing. Bye for now.